guys know how we roll. Coming out of the locker room, we like to make some big time adjustments. And for us, we know defense wins championships, but offense definitely brings style points because they put points on the scoreboard. So we had to make an addition to our offense. We had to go out and get a top level quarterback. We told you guys in the beginning of the show, we had a high character guy, top level quarterback join us on the show. All things covered, Pat Peterson, Bryant McFadden, and he's here. Miami Northwestern. Throw your bulls up. I think that's how they do it,
Yeah.
Pat. I don't know.
Yeah.
You got to throw your bulls up. Miami Northwestern alum, Louisville alum, current Denver Broncos quarterback. You can find him on Twitter at TeddyB_H20. Find him on Twitter, TeddyB_H20. Denver Broncos quarterback Teddy Bridgewater joining us here on the show, All Things Covered. Teddy B, thank you for joining us. How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. Thank you guys for having me. Just sitting back, kicking in South Florida right now, man.
Yes, sir.
No question. We see you. We see you. So you talk about South Florida, before you became a Cardinal, before you became a Viking, a Saint, a Panther, and now in Bronco, you started off down in Miami. You know what I mean? And you once tweeted out, Teddy B, the first degree I got was from the streets. I majored in surviving Liberty City and Opa-Locka. What did you earn? What did it take to earn a degree, as you call it, from the streets of Liberty City and Opa-Locka?
I think, man, what it took was just making all the right decisions. Where I grew up at, there's so much going on that you can easily get into. And I've seen so many guys, man, who had more talent than me, or guys before me who, fell victim to, the circumstances. And it just all fell back on your decision making. It's so easy to make the wrong decision, you know what I mean? Especially when all your peers and the ones around you are doing all the wrong things. That's an easy route. And it is the hard thing to do is go the opposite way, because you're gonna be looked at funny. Oh man, you tripping, this, and that. And you just got to look in the mirror and tell yourself what you want to be in life. Ask yourself what you want to be in life, and try to go places.
Right. Yeah, and we all, like you talked about, you down there hanging down there in South Florida. We all three of us on this show is from that area. And I had the opportunity to be in the high school football world in 2007, and the Atlantic recently called the 2007 Northwestern team the best high school ever. First of all, I didn't even know you was a receiver, first of all, and a backup quarterback to my boy Janoris Harris. I'm sorry, Ja'Cory Harris. Yeah. How special was it, being a young guy on that squad, being with 26 players on that played on D1 rosters, 8 seniors signed with Miami, 7 players made it to the league. How special was that being on that team as a young kid?
I'm a give you a secret. So I was a freshman. So I didn't play on that team. I was in the schoolhouse with them. And what happened? So this is a story that nobody really knows. So I was a freshman, and I ended up playing for Bunch Park League. I was still playing Little League because I wasn't gonna stay at Northwestern. So I was gonna transfer to Pace. Yeah, I was gonna transfer to Pace because I was a baseball guy. So Kayvon Webster, I grew up. Yeah, so me and Kayvon Webster, brother, best friends. His name Paul Webster. So Kayvon was at Pace, and Kayvon was like, "Man, just come to Pace, reunite with your Bunch Park guys." And so I was going to Pace. And as I got ready to go to Pace, Northwestern was like, "Nah, man, we want you to play quarterback. Ja'Cory leaving, you're going to come right in." So Ja'Cory was still in the building that spring, but, he was getting ready to go to school. I had a little time with him. But like you said, I started out at receiver, honestly. And I didn't even want to play quarterback until I realized that I get to touch the ball every play. So that's how that felt. That's how that played out. But just, being in the schoolhouse with those guys, man, you watch how those guys carry themselves. They were stars, man. They knew it. Yeah. They carried themselves a certain way, and they also motivated me to want to follow their footsteps. I was committed to Miami at one point, and I wanted to be like those guys. Those guys went to college early. They graduated high school early and went to college early. So I said, hey, those guys did it. Why can't I? So it was just good having that motivation in front of me.
Yo, Teddy B, for our listeners and viewers that are watching us on YouTube and listening to us on the podcast, they might not be as familiar with Miami Northwestern at 2017, but give them a few names that they may recognize. They can kind of, turn that light switch on for them. That was a part of that 2017, like Pat mentioned, that the athletic, they're calling that 07 Miami Northwestern football team probably the best ever in the country.
Yeah. See, me, I'm going to start with my favorite player ever, Sean Spence.
Steelers.
Sean Spence. Yeah. And, I knew Sean since Little League. He played at Bunch Park also. So he was number 5. He was always my favorite player growing up. You got a Super Bowl champion, Levante David, with Tampa Bay Bucks. Ja'Cory Harris, who went on to UM. Brandon Washington, he played for the Philadelphia Eagles briefly.
What about the big old lineman you guys had? He was in the same. I can't think of his name.
Big Marcus.
Big
Marcus.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Marcus Williams.
Forston.
Oh, Forston.
Forston. Yeah,
yep,
Marcus Forston. He ended up. I think he got drafted by the Patriots late. Tommy Streeter was a wide receiver. He got drafted by Baltimore. Got a Super Bowl ring with them. Man, trying to think of who else. Kendall Tompkins. He went to Miami as well. He played in Canada. So it's a small list of the guys right there.
Yeah,
no question. And talking about your high school days, we need you to break down this super strut performance that was caught on video some years ago that went viral. Actually, you decided to return to your high school alma mater and the band, and of course, you from South Florida. You in the southern states. High school bands are important.
No doubt
what
about
I mean?
it.
Yeah. And Miami Northwestern has always been known to have a pretty nice band. But let's break down that super strut that you decided to join the band. And is there a possibility, Teddy B, this upcoming season, throw 3 or 4 touchdowns in the ball game after one of your touchdowns, you can give us a super strut as a celebration as well?
Hey, each year I try to come up with something new. So I might just hit up Miss Young. She's the choreographer and the instructor of the dances at Miami Northwestern and see what she got in store for this season.
Make that happen. But tell me about that super strut. You went viral, man. We don't really see you too much in the media when it comes to social media, but you went viral after that strut.
Nah, man, it was just one of those deals. I was in New Orleans that year, had a lot of buzz, and I was like paying attention. I always pay attention to what's going on in Miami. Right. That's how I reset during the season. I, check in with everyone back home on Mondays, and next thing you know, I turn the chapter. So that one week, man, I was just on Instagram. I think, and you hear Miss Young in the background. She's gassing the girls up. They breaking it down, and it's usually after halftime, like the band, had their little performance on the track. So the girls are doing a walk, and one day I was just like, man, I'm gonna come down and do that walk with y'all. But she was like, you serious? I was like, yeah. So we got to the game. I think we had like a bye week or something. I was at the game. I'm like, man, I'm going to do it. And she didn't even know. I just jumped in the line with the girls after halftime and just started doing it. The fans, everyone was just cheering, going crazy, man. It was funny.
Hey, no, you crushed that. Hey, I got a question for you. I think this happened 2 years ago. What made you ride a bike 75 miles, I think it was?
Nah, man, it was just one of those deals where I was cycling heavy in the off season, and I just wanted to stay active. It was actually last year. I think that's when everything, or it might have been 2 years. I don't know, but
I saw it. I was like, man, that dude crazy, man. Because the most I ever done was 35, 75. That's a haul.
You rode it from what, Miami to Palm Beach, right?
Yeah. We rode to Palm. So, man, the thing about that, man. So we were like, we're gonna ride up. No, actually, we were gonna catch the train up to Palm Beach. So we're gonna catch the train from Opa-Locka to Palm Beach and ride back with the wind. So whoever decided that we was gonna ride at that time on the train didn't know the train schedule. So we had the train schedule wrong. So that's why we ended up riding up and catching the train back. But we ended up riding into the wind and everything, 75 miles. It was brutal.
Yeah,
how long did it take you guys?
I think it was like 7 hours.
Yeah. It might have been 5 or 7, one of those.
Okay.
But, and I think the thing was, man, we didn't really know what we was doing. You just ride because we skilled and stuff like that. But we didn't realize how you can ride in the pack to cut the wind and stuff like that. So
was that the longest you ever rode?
Yeah, that was the longest. But those guys, man. Yeah, those guys, man, it's a group, local group. called Breaking the Cycle.
Okay.
And man, those guys on the road to Orlando. Like, they
Damn.
ride, man.
What?
Yeah, they done rode to Orlando.
That's 370 miles right there, Jack.
Man,
Man, 'cause from where we from, getting to Orlando is almost about 3 hours, about 2:45.
Yeah.
Riding on a bike, who even that? That doesn't even make sense.
Oh, man, no chance.
Yeah.
So Teddy, why?
Yeah.
Why Louisville? We know you was a 4-star recruit, 6 quarterback in your class. You had offers from UM, Florida, and Tennessee. Why Louisville?
Man, when I was committed to Miami, I realized how rigged up the recruiting thing is, man.
Yeah.
From a ranking standpoint, because when I was committed to Miami, man, they moved me to a 5-star. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Then when I decommit, they dropped me back down to a 4-star. So I'm like, all right, I see what it's all about. But Miami had fired Randy Shannon, and Randy grew up with my mom in Bunch Park, Opa-Locka. Okay. They went to high school. They went to New Orleans. He went to school with my aunt. He used to talk about my aunt all the time. She was a bad athlete. And when they fired Randy, I was like, man, I wanted to see what direction they was going to go in. And I didn't really like the direction they went in. So I was like, man, I got to go somewhere that's, going to benefit me. And that's going to give me an opportunity to just change a coach or change a program. Because I knew, like, I had the ability to just affect people. And if I could be around the right people, that it would bring out my best quality, which is affecting people. And Louisville just gave me the opportunity to not only come up there and play early, but shoot, we had like 12 guys in my recruiting class from South Florida. Then the next year they asked me, hey, who we need to get. So they really had me involved with everything that was going on. And then also, I needed some structure in my life as well. I grew up with just my mom, and I knew that Charlie Strong and Coach Clint Hurt, he was at Miami actually. He recruited me. So I knew that, man, those guys would give me some good structure and some good guidance, and ended up working out for them in the long run.
No doubt. It definitely paid off for you. And there's a trend of South Florida quarterbacks that go to Louisville that ultimately become the 32nd pick in the draft, right? Something that both you and Lamar Jackson, have in common. What is your response, knowing Lamar as a former Cardinal as well, and seeing what he's been able to do in the National Football League? But what is your response to some of the criticism that he gets for his playing style?
Man, at the end of the day, Lamar just got to be Lamar and continue to be Lamar. We think that we got to change who we are, and that's where we go wrong. Like I can, I'm a testament to that, because look at my pro day. Shoot, I decided to go out there and throw without gloves and trying to prove to them, something that I didn't even have to. And, I go 32nd. Who knows if I would have went first or whatever, but just trying to prove people wrong, man, like it does something to you. It lights a fire, but at the same time, you got to be yourself in the process. And as long as Lamar keep being Lamar, he going to be all right. Everything going to fall in place for him.
Right. And speaking of that glove thing, that glove situation during your pro day, what was that all about? Because I never got the backstory about the pro day and the throwing with gloves. Because nowadays we see quarterbacks throw with gloves all the time.
Yeah,
I played with Big Ben. I played a year with Kurt Warner. They used to throw with gloves all the time. So what was that situation? What was that story behind that?
No, so what happened, man, when I was in high school, I didn't really wear the gloves. Only reason I wore gloves in high school because I would be going back and forth from receiver to quarterback. Didn't have time to change them. So when I came back home, I was training at IMG for my combine training. And it's hot in South Florida. So I'm back in South Florida. The ball feels good in my hand and I'm ripping it without the gloves. So I was like, all right, I'm going to just go to pro day. And I've been training without them down here in Bradenton. So I'm going to just go do the pro day without it. So I get to the pro day. For one, the football that I had wasn't broke in at all. And then
that's a no-no. Quarterback take that.
Yeah.
Need them peaches, Daddy.
Man, come on, man. So the balls are slick, man. So, I was like, dang, man, I didn't want to just put the gloves on halfway through the workout because then it'd have been talked about as well. So I just went out there and just said, man, you know what? Hey, this is a decision I made. I got to live with it. Whatever happens is going to happen. And, I felt bad, for some of the guys that were running routes and stuff, because I had guys in that diving, making crazy catches at a pro day that you don't usually see. So, but, like I said, it was a decision that I made. I stuck with it and, I learned from it.
Right. And well, after going back to Lamar, first of all, Lamar's a winner, so they can criticize him all they want, man.
No question. No question.
After getting drafted to the Vikings, what was your first impressions of Minnesota, and do you have any advice for me?
Man, shit, it was cold, man. Hey, man, it was cold. Like you gotta make sure you get you a nice North Face jacket or something, man. 'Cause that cold hit different out there. But one thing I can say, man, like the people out there, they super nice, man. They love the Vikings. They love their players on the Vikings. My time there, I got injured, but I had some of my best years there just because I became a man there. And that city embraced me, embraced my family. The restaurants are nice.
Yeah,
it's a nice city, man. We played last season. That was my first time going back there since I had left. Well, since I was with the Vikings in 2018 or whatever. And just to see the change in that city and the culture, it looks unbelievable. So I say just have a nice jacket. And wherever you stay at, make sure you got a heated garage.
Oh, I do, man. I do.
Man, I learned my rookie year. I had a little house, man, and you got to wake up 5 o'clock now to start the car to let it run for like 30 minutes so it can heat up. Then one time, man, I ended up running out of gas in the cold.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to keep a quarter tank of gas in your car always.
All right, cool. That's good advice.
No question. Hey, Teddy B, where was your confidence at after year 2? You guys won the division and you made the Pro Bowl.
Man, it was an all-time high. Going into that off season, man, I had my guys. We were down in Orlando, the Tom Shaw, like 2 weeks, just getting out there, winning the training camp, and we were rolling. And then, everything happened how it happened.
Yeah. And speaking of that, how everything happened, August the 30th, 2016, what will that date forever mean to you?
Honestly, I forget what day it was all the time, man. I'm only reminded when, it's brought up. Because to me, man, it's just another day, that I was above earth and I had an opportunity to learn a lesson that day. And I learned how tough I am, So each day, man, I try to find little lessons to learn and little nuggets to take away. So, August 30th, 2016.
August 30th, 2016.
Yeah. It was, I'll say it was the start of me finding my purpose. And what I mean by that is, we play this game, and sometimes we get lost in this lifestyle. We get lost in the game.
Right. And
me being away from the game really helped open my eyes and made me realize that, man, no matter if I'm in uniform or not, I get the same 24 hours as the man mopping floors for a living, as the person bagging groceries for a living. So it gave me a different view on life. Like, man, no matter what's going on, I got 24 hours. I got to maximize it. And, that's how I approach every day now.
Right.
Did you think your career was over? Like when it happened and then the after effect, knowing exactly what happened, did you think it was like a wrap for me, or what was going through your mind?
Yeah, I thought it was over. I was down there. Yeah, man. When I went down, I think the first thing I said was go get my phone. And
really?
But I said that because I needed to just text my mom and tell her to get to praying, because she's one of my prayer warriors. And I tell everybody, I feel like God answered all her prayers. So, I told her to get to praying for me. And, I was down there, man, just looking at my leg. I was yelling. You see the guys throwing helmets and, just screaming and all type of stuff. Coach Sonny, everybody in. And I really thought it was over when I was in the back of the ambulance headed to the hospital. I was in the back with the trainer. And, he was asking me questions. He was like, man, can you feel your foot? How's it feeling? I was like, I can feel my foot, but the feeling's starting to go away. And he screamed at the driver. He was like, man, speed this fucking car up and all of this and that. And that right there showed me, how serious it might have been. Like, man. And then I didn't realize until I woke up after they put it back in place that, I could have suffered from nerve damage and possibility of drop foot and had to eventually get my leg amputated or whatever.
Whoa. Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know that that was a possibility.
Yeah.
What was the routine like for you to get back?
Man, so it was a 2-part series, man. Because after the surgery so I got the surgery in September. Mm-hmm. And all the way to like November, man, it was a struggle because I couldn't bend my knee. And I didn't know what was going on. And, the tough part about it was that, I'm doing the therapy with the team, and okay, we started out like 5-0 that year, something like that. So, therapy is going well. Then we ended up losing like 5 in a row. And you know how that is. Like, guys get injured, you're losing, so pressure's on the training room. And I come in the training room, and man, the trainer would just be cranking on my knee, cranking. And I'm like, yo, I can't bend my knee. Mm-hmm. Like, you doing all this cranking. He's like, come on, man, you can push. And I'm like, nah, yo, I can't. Mm-hmm. And I ended up going to get another MRI, and I had some bone calcification on the inside, which was preventing me from bending my knee past like 50 degrees or 60 degrees. So that was the struggle. And then like in November around my birthday or whatever, I went down to Dallas, saw Dr. Cooper, and we cleaned it up. And from there it was smooth sailing, man. It was just more so getting to that end range and trying to hold those and strengthen those positions. And it's been a smooth process.
So like, and when you see particular gruesome injuries like, Dak Prescott and Alex Smith, do you grow any interest in those in their comebacks?
Yeah, definitely. Because, just being a person who, had a comeback himself is it's inspiring to me as well. Even though I have my story, just to follow those guys' journey, because, we all relate in some way. And, we talk about the comeback, but, just guys getting injured in general. But since we're on the topic of just guys having a comeback, you definitely become a bigger fan of those guys because you know what it took, or you know somewhat of what it took for that person to get back. You know about those dark days, those struggles, those days where you want to just throw in a towel. Like, you know what it's like, so you become a huge fan when they eventually come back from that.
Right.
Yeah. And after a lengthy comeback process, a quick stint with the Jets, you get traded to the New Orleans Saints, home of the beignets. What was the biggest thing you learned from Sean Payton and Drew Brees during your time there in New Orleans?
And when my 2 years there, it taught me the real meaning of valuing, your process and honing in on your process. Man, I tell everybody, I watched Drew Brees be the same guy for 2 years straight. I'm talking about eat breakfast at a certain time, chew his bacon a certain way, bite his sunflower seeds a certain way in the meeting room, take a pee break at a certain time. Like, man, this guy, he was like so routine, and that just it meant a lot to me because I was still a young guy. You know what I mean? Like, I had only played 2 years for real, and I was always just like, man, I'm from South Florida. I just got damn ball, do whatever. And just watching those guys, how they operate, it really gave me a different insight and a different view. And like, I was able to just, take little bits and pieces from what Drew did and apply it to, my career, and it's been working for me.
So did Drew used to pop into the defensive back meeting rooms like you did too?
Nah, I think, man, that's just something with me, man. I always just like cope well with defensive backs. Like when I was in Minnesota, I had Terrence Newman, and I just go to T. New, and those guys see the game like quarterbacks sometimes. Right. So, and you guys, you study the quarterback. So
right.
I talk to T. New all the time. Hey, T. New, what you saw right here? If I'm throwing quick game, hey, T. New, what you saw? He'd be like, hey, man, I just saw fast drop, man, balls coming out quick or something. Or I'd be like, T. New, what can give me a hint right here that is certain coverage? Like just learning what man coverage truly was. Terrence Newman explained it to me. He's like, man, you'll know if it's man coverage when you break the huddle. When the DB get to the line, if he press and his eyes is on receiver, he got him in man. Now if he's pressing his eyes on you, he might be two man. It's just little nuggets that you take and run with. So when I was in New Orleans, I just used to pop in with those guys. Von Bell was my guy when he was there. Marshawn and Dub Williams, man, Marcus Williams. Like those guys, for one, they were younger than me, so I knew that I could just give those guys some insight on what quarterbacks are thinking. And then, you know, I just tell them too, I challenge them when we go to practice. Like, hey, man, I'm going to throw a bomb over y'all. Like I had another South Florida guy, Tommy Lee, when we were out there, we used to call it Go Deep, ENT.
Tommy Lee had them wheels, right?
Oh,
yeah.
He can go.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just took a lot of pride. I took a lot of pride in just, you know, trying to help those defensive backs. Because at the end of the day, man, if they on the same page, then, man, defense rolling.
Hey, Teddy, I got a two-part question for you. You know, looking at the road back for you getting healthy, everything you went through in your early part of your career, then get an opportunity to be a full-time starter in Carolina, pairing back up with Joe Brady, who was there with you, who knew about you in New Orleans, of course. What did that mean to you? And the second part of the question, do you think you had a fair opportunity there in Carolina?
You know, it was great, man, getting back with Joe. I watched Joe draw cards and get cussed at by Drew Brees if the defense wasn't giving the right look. So just to see him, man, you know, the growth and the journey that he's been on within 2 to 3 years, man, it's amazing. It was great just reuniting with him. He's another South Florida boy, man. So,
yep.
You know, it was great to see one of us, you know, from South Florida, you know, in a position of power like that. And then, man, with the whole deal in Carolina, it is what it is to be, man. I told him, you know, once the season ended that I wear big boy draws, man, and I understand the nature of this business, and it's a performance-based business. And, you know, yeah, I could sit up here and say, okay, Christian got hurt, or we didn't have this, didn't have that, but that's not me, you know. I look in that mirror and I say, hey, you got to tighten up, you know. So it's, you know, little things, you know, that I could have done better. And, you know, as an organization, it's things that, you know, you can do better as well. But I think, man, I'll just say this for Joe Brady's growth. I think, man, like that organization, they'll have to like just practice different things, you know, in different ways. Like one of the things we didn't do much of when I was there, we didn't practice 2-minute really. We didn't practice red zone, you know.
What?
So
it was the most important thing.
What?
That's
what you used to have a whole day devoted for 2-minute in red zone. That's Thursday practice.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I guess the game, man, is becoming about science, you know, and trying to keep guys healthy. So you didn't practice on Fridays there, but you walk through like you walk through the red zone stuff. And then Saturday you come out and practice red zone, but you only get like 15 live reps, and guys reps will be limited. Yeah, so I mean, you know, that's the unknown, but you know, I'm a pro, man. I could sit up here and throw all of that out there, but at the end of the day, that won't get me nowhere, man. So I'm appreciative that I had the opportunity. You know, I just keep it moving. I'm in Denver now. I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
Hey, Teddy. You the ultimate professional. I applaud that. You the ultimate professional. But me, I'm a fan and I'm in the media. So you didn't get treated fairly in Carolina. I'm gonna say what you don't want to say or what you probably can't say because I'm watching the game. I'm gonna keep it real with you. So let me break this down for you, Teddy B, as you already know. Let me break it down for the people listening to us and the people that's watching us on YouTube. Teddy B, Carolina Panther, overall record was 4-11. Granted, like he said, wasn't ideal. But one of the best offensive weapons in the National Football League in CMC, Christian McCaffrey, only participated in 3 ball games. Teddy B numbers, I had to do the research. When I had Teddy B, I knew Teddy B was coming on. I'm like, I wanted to talk about this Carolina thing, but I know I can't really talk to him. He can't talk to me, so I'm going to talk to him. Teddy B, your numbers last year, Pat P, listen to these numbers. Teddy B numbers last year was 3,735 yards, 15 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, completed 69% of his passes. Now, the guy they replaced Teddy Bridgewater with and Sam Darnold, no knock on Sam, he's a great guy, I believe, but I'm just based on talking about numbers. He was 2-10 in 12 starts. His completion percentage was 59%. He threw for 2,208 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. So in 12 starts, he had below average numbers. And this is the guy they replace you with. I'm not going to ask you, was it right? Was it not right? I understand, but I can tell you what I think. No, that's some BS.
Yeah.
How you get replaced from a guy who was bad? And it's safe to say, I'm going to say what you can't say, Teddy B. It's safe to say, Pat P, if Christian McCaffrey was in uniform for more than 3 ball games,
no doubt about it,
everything would look better.
Yeah, because they opened
the
up.
Offense would have been flowing.
Play action, screen game.
Play action. Man, you ain't got CMC in the backfield. We're not concerned about no run game.
Right.
You know what I mean? We ain't concerned about no run game.
Yeah, I think the 3 games he played in, like, we was averaging 30 a game too. So, but man, for me, man, I look at it like this, man. Like, so my whole life, man, like, I moved a lot growing up. So I moved from neighborhood to neighborhood, and I think the way I was brought up has prepared me for, everything that I'm going through right now, man. Like,
no question. That knee injury.
Yeah, and it's like preparing me for, each stop. I'm there to, leave my mark. And for me in Carolina, I feel like I left my mark the way, I feel like I left my mark in a certain way. Like, the way I looked at it, man, I told Curtis Samuel, like, man, look, I want to get you paid. He got paid. He had a career.
He got paid.
Robbie Anderson had his first 1,000-yard season in his career. DJ Moore had most yards in his career. Mike Davis, over 1,000 yards from line of scrimmage. So, the way I look at it, like, man, it's a win for me. Like, okay, they traded me, whatever, but man, I left a mark with those guys that I wanted to. So, now that I'm in Denver, man, I'm excited for what's in store for me.
And don't forget, Teddy B, I'm going to say what you don't want to say. You still get the same amount of money you were supposed to get in Carolina because they eating most of that salary, and Denver going to pick it up on the back end. Yeah. And now you get another opportunity. If you do what you're supposed to do,
right,
jump right back at the table, get you a plate, get you a little spoon.
Yeah, that's what I was about to jump into. Obviously, with you, defeating so many odds in your career, like, what are some of your current goals you have set so for, like, at this point, for your career? Because obviously you're gonna be a free agent next year again. I'm sorry, you're gonna be a free agent next year, March.
Yeah, man, I haven't sat down yet and just wrote down my goals for this year. I'll probably do that right before training camp. Okay. But like I said, man, just looking back at last year, I feel like I accomplished a lot of what I wanted to do, as an individual. The ultimate goal as a team when you play a team sport is to win. So of course, I want to win. I'm used to winning, but from an individual standpoint, like, I talked to Robbie the other night at his birthday dinner, and I just told him, like, hey, we got to 1,000 now. I'm not there, but you can still do it, and
right.
You can be right back to the table. So I really get a thrill from seeing others around me succeed because, man,
good man.
If they succeed, then I mean I'm doing something right as well. So
no question. And when you look at the current ball club you're a part of, how are you handling the Broncos and the Aaron Rodgers rumors? You know what I mean? Hearing his name associated with the Broncos potentially trying to be traded there. How are you handling that?
Honestly, man, I really don't be knowing what's going on in sports until somebody brings it to my attention. Like, I don't do Instagram. I don't do Twitter. If I do, I got all personal pages, so I don't have to see any of that. But, it's one of those deals where, like I said, man, I'm in Denver right now. I'm excited for this opportunity that I got. Whatever happens is going to happen. All I can control is showing up to work every day and being a pro. For a person like myself, I always tell people, man, I ain't even supposed to be in this position. So I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I'm going to make the best of wherever I'm at. So I'm in Denver right now. You
already won.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm ready to go. Like, I'm motivated like never before.
Man, we should add, hey, Pat P, we got a Has Pat Heard in our show. We should add Has Teddy Heard. Teddy say, hey, Pat P the same way. Pat P don't be knowing nothing about what's going on in sports. If it ain't dealing with golf or them babies he got, he'll be doing nothing.
I'm trying to tell you.
Last question for you, Teddy, before we transition to the superlative part of our show. Quarterback competition between you and Drew Lock. Vic Fangio is high on you. What do you need to do to earn that starting job in Denver? And do you expect to earn that starting job?
Man, for me, it's just I gotta go in there and be Teddy. Just like I said, Lamar, I gotta keep being Lamar. I just gotta be Teddy. I think that's my biggest strength, just being Teddy. And being Teddy means, showing up with the right mindset and being the guy that I am off the field. But when I get on the field, being Teddy also, just completing the football to my guys. That's my strength. I mean, Pat P got one on me last year, but
oh yeah, Pat, you did, yeah. You was in cover two, right?
He rolled back to cover two, let invert.
Yeah.
he got that one.
I think the only reason I got it though, because the pressure got to you, because you saw me the whole way, because you was looking at me the whole way.
He had to try to get that thing out his hand.
Man, they ended up rolling the coverage and all that. But like I said, man, it's just throwing the ball to my guys, man, making the right decisions, playing in rhythm. Like when I'm doing that, I'm at my best. So I was able to complete 69% of my passes last year. I was trying to stay at 70, but
you were there.
That's my strength, just completing the ball to my guys. And when I get there and I can do that, man, and just continue to help the quarterback room at the same time. Like, yeah, it's a competition, but at the same time, Drew's a young guy who's got a lot of football, in him. So rather, I'm just in motivating him, teaching him while we're competing, is all gonna help the room. So I'm excited this opportunity that I just get to, go make an impact somewhere else. And this time it's Denver.
You got some nice guys to catch your passes, though. You got Noah Fant. You got Jerry Jeudy, the cockroach killer. He run that out route. It's like he's stepping on the cockroach. You got Hamler. Is Sutton still out there? Cortland Sutton?
Yeah.
Big Sutton can go when he healthy as well. You got some guns. You got some guns out there.
Yeah. So, you said the most important thing though, man. You got a tight end.
Noah Fant.
Yeah, man.
He can go.
A lot of people don't realize how valuable those tight ends are.
Yes,
I tell people, I say, man, receivers get you to the red zone, but tight ends score in the red zone.
Right.
No question. No question. That's how you really can, you can tell you talking football with someone when they mention tight ends.
Yeah.
For us,
nowadays.
And Pat P, you probably feel the same way I feel. I don't want to play against an athletic tight end.
No.
That's a matchup nightmare for us.
Yeah, no doubt.
You can't put a corner on it. You can't put a back on it. You can't put a safety on it. Man, that's a matchup nightmare. But you got you one in Denver, so we can't wait to see how it all shakes out for you. Let's transition to the superlative part of the show. So what we're going to do is, Teddy B, we're going to hit you with rapid fire questions. I want your honest, unbiased answer. So we're going to send some pressure at you and see how you handle this pressure. You know what I mean? We're going to invert the curve just a little bit. First question for you. I heard you're a big-time Miami Heat fan. It only makes sense. You're from Dade County. Give me your Miami Heat Mount Rushmore.
All right. I'm going Zoe, D-Wade. All right. Hey, I ain't really a history major. How many people on Mount Rushmore?
4.
All right, we got 4. All right.
You got 2. You gave me 2.
Zoe, D-Wade, LeBron.
Okay.
That's 3.
And I'm gonna go Tim Hardaway.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm going Tim Hardaway.
Yeah,
I want to put Shaq, but I'm gonna go Tim Hardaway.
Yeah, Tim. Yeah, that's a good one for Tim. Your favorite college football memory? You beat University of Florida and University of Miami in your final 2 bowl games.
My favorite moment from the games, or which one?
Not just your favorite moments in general, because you beat your hometown, your home state team.
It's crazy as it sounds, man. My favorite moment was the Gators game when I got smacked by Bostic.
Oh yeah,
on the sideline.
Yeah, my helmet rolled like 15 yards. I say that because, man, I tell people all the time. I say, man, I got up and you know, when you're talking to your dogs and all that, you're like, man, he tried me, you know what I'm saying? So so that was my mindset when I got up, like, oh, he really just tried me on national TV. Like my family back home watching this, so I can't lay down. So that was one of my favorite moments.
Okay. All right. We're gonna hit you with a little nickel blitz. Start, sit, cut.
All right.
Adrian Peterson, Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey. Start, sit, cut.
All right. I'm starting AD. I gotta start AD.
Okay.
Okay, AP. Somebody gonna sit. Somebody gonna get cut.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit AK.
Okay.
Sit AK, and I gotta cut Christian.
Okay.
Yeah, that was tough.
That's tough.
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, I really want to start AK because AD, man, that boy hands like trying to catch it up.
Hey, coach said one time, man, you got hands like snakes. Like, man, Coach Snake don't have any hands. He say exactly.
Man, the ball
AP ain't catching. He ain't catching no flat route.
No flat route, no screen, no swing, none of that.
but he gonna run that duo and that lead draw.
Oh yeah, and like that 22 double, that's his go-to right there.
That's it. So he gonna help the play action game.
No doubt about
it.
All right.
Yeah. AP, Kamara, and he's cutting CMC. All right, we got
you. Yeah.
Last one before we let you go. Best restaurant you spent your birthday at. We heard that you spent you celebrated at Olive Garden for your 28th birthday.
But what is the Olive Garden?
What is the best restaurant you spent your birthday at?
Man. I don't even remember the restaurants that I've been to. I'm going to Olive Garden though.
Yeah.
What you get when you go to Olive Garden?
I just go for the bread and salad.
That salad hit nice, don't it?
That's how I used to be in middle school at Red Lobster, man. That bread and water.
Right. That cheese bread at Red Lobster. Yes, sir.
Yes,
that cheddar bread.
Don't need no butter, man. Bread and water, man.
Hey, Teddy B, I like that because a lot of times when boys get that bread in their pocket, they kind of forget about how they used to eat. You don't go there, like the boys don't go back to Applebee's anymore, Ruby Tuesdays, Logan, you know what I mean?
Man, listen, I drive me a minivan right now, man. So I'm pocketing all my little coins.
I love it, man.
Smart man. Yes. Hey, smart man. Definitely. And don't forget, in 2022, you're gonna be right back at the table all over again.
Yeah.
All over again. We go ahead and let that thing manifest a little bit. Speak that into the universe.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. Hey, but Teddy B, man, we appreciate you joining us here. All things covered, man. You high character individual. We are rooting for you. Best of luck this upcoming season with the Denver Broncos. And go ahead and twist that knife in the Carolina Panthers a little bit when you go out and ball out this year. Hey, Teddy B, you don't have to say too much. I'll be saying it for you on here. All things covered. I'll be all the talking for you.
Yes, sir.
Be safe, man.
I appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
All right, Teddy. Appreciate you, bro.